Crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw the well, we didn't even see.
Overwhelming.
We didn't even see,
It's
but I saw the
overwhelming.
logo and I went, that's my name. Snow White's up there. And I
No, I cannot tell you anything about the new Snow White movie. But if I could, I would tell you everything about the new Snow White movie because I'm very
The original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs cartoon, released in 1937, is undoubtedly a classic. The movie focused heavily on Snow White's love story, which has come under criticism in more recent times, particularly because of the dynamic between Snow White and Prince Charming. Some, like actress Rachel Zegler, have described this relationship as outdated and even creepy. To a more conservative audience, these critiques may seem bizarre or misplaced, particularly for a movie so rooted in tradition. Disney's attempt to reimagine this cherished story has been polarizing, with some fans left yearning for the timeless values that the original brought to life. The live-action remake of Snow White stirred anticipation among some, but quickly became a point of contention for many. Rather than excitement, it has generated a firestorm of criticism. One particular group, fed up with Disney's creative decisions, has turned their attention to the conservative media company, the Daily Wire. This company has decided to make its own adaptation of Snow White, an allegedly more faithful version of the original story. According to some sources, this move has left Rachel Zegler, the lead actress in Disney's remake, furious. From the beginning, fans were divided over Disney's casting of Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Many were shocked, given that the character has long been depicted as having a very specific appearance rooted in European folklore. Snow White's iconic pale skin, raven black hair, and ruby red lips, which are directly tied to her character in the original Brothers Grimm fairy tale, made some feel that casting a Latina actress was a step too far from tradition. While diversity in Hollywood is often celebrated, this particular casting decision sparked debate. Some fans believed that the film's European roots should have been respected more closely. Rachel Zegler's remarks in interviews only exacerbated the controversy. She openly criticized the 1937 version of Snow White, calling the movie creepy and suggesting that it was problematic for modern viewers, especially regarding the dynamic between Snow White and Prince Charming.
On stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
Zegler made it clear that Disney's new version would no longer focus on the traditional love story. Instead, Snow White would be depicted as a more independent and empowered character, with ambitions of leadership rather than love. According to Zegler, Snow White would not be saved by the prince or dream of true love. Instead, her goal would be to become the leader her late father believed she could be. These statements were met with mixed reactions, with some praising the shift toward a more feminist interpretation, while others saw it as a betrayal of the original story. One fan expressed their frustration by saying, "This is no longer Snow White. It's just another movie using its name." The backlash continued to mount when Disney announced that the Seven Dwarfs would be replaced by magical CGI creatures, a move that many fans found unforgivable. For them, the Seven Dwarfs were central to the charm of the original film, and their removal felt like an unnecessary concession to modern sensibilities. Fan outrage over these decisions was swift, with many taking to social media to vent their frustrations. Some saw the removal of the Seven Dwarfs as pandering, with one fan even calling it a clear example of Disney bowing to modern sensitivities. The backlash grew so intense that Disney was forced to delay the film's release to reconsider some of these creative choices. Eventually, the studio announced that the dwarves would be reintroduced, though not in the way fans might have hoped. The final result, which featured CGI-rendered dwarves, has been heavily criticized for looking awkward and unnatural, further fueling fan discontent. The controversy surrounding Disney's remake didn't stop at casting and CGI. David Hand, a former Disney designer and the son of one of the original directors of Snow White, publicly criticized the film. He called the new version insulting to both his father's legacy and to Disney's original vision for the movie. Han's comments resonated with many fans who felt that Disney was disrespecting its history in an attempt to modernize a story that had been beloved for decades. In response to this ongoing backlash, the Daily Wire announced that it would be creating its own version of Snow White, one that aimed to stay faithful to the original fairy tale. The conservative media company, better known for its political commentary than its film production, saw an opportunity to capitalize on the growing discontent surrounding Disney's remake. Their version promises to honor the core themes of the original story while steering clear of the modern political narratives that have so often been injected into remakes of classic films. Brett Cooper, the actress cast as Snow White in the Daily Wire's version, has made it clear that their adaptation will stay true to the original story while still appealing to modern audiences. When the Daily Wire released its first teaser for the film, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Fans reacted with joy, praising the project for staying faithful to the timeless fairy tale. One fan went as far as to say, "If the contest boiled down to Brett Cooper versus Rachel Zegler, Brett wins hands down." The general sentiment was that Brett Cooper's humility and gratitude stood in stark contrast to Rachel Zegler's perceived arrogance. With all the positive reactions, some are speculating that the Daily Wire's Snow White could even outperform Disney's version at the box office, a potential Hollywood upset that would send a clear message to the film industry about the importance of respecting the source material. Fans believe that while Brett's version will still resonate with today's audience, it won't lose sight of the themes of love, bravery, and innocence that made the original so beloved. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's portrayal has continued to draw criticism, with many fans accusing her of being one of the reasons the Disney version is facing so many issues. One fan even commented, "Rachel Zegler is single-handedly destroying this movie," and the sentiment is echoed across social media. Some are now calling for Disney to reconsider its casting decisions, with others going so far as to demand Zegler's removal from the project. With the controversy surrounding her interviews and comments growing, fans are left wondering which version of Snow White will ultimately resonate more with audiences. Disney's modern reimagining or the Daily Wire's more faithful retelling? Disney's trailer, despite the studio's efforts, has not been well received. Fans have pointed out various flaws, from the casting to the visuals. The use of green screen and CGI, which some have compared to Shrek levels of animation, has left many underwhelmed. Adding to the criticism, actor Peter Dinklage's vocal objections to the portrayal of the dwarfs may have played a role in Disney's decision to avoid casting actors with dwarfism, something many fans are upset about. Dinklage, however, has been criticized by some in the dwarfism community for pulling the step stool out from under others in his community. The backlash surrounding the CGI is particularly noteworthy, given that previous adaptations of Snow White have shown that practical sets and effects can work beautifully. Fans are now questioning why Disney opted for a heavy reliance on CGI instead of embracing the practical magic that has worked so well in the past. Meanwhile, Brett Cooper's version of Snow White has been embraced with open arms. Her version has not faced the same controversies or backlash that Rachel Zegler's has, and fans are eager to see how the Daily Wire's adaptation will fare. Rumors have surfaced that Rachel Zegler may not be handling the competition well. According to some reports, she was furious about the Daily Wire's version, especially after Brett Cooper openly discussed the differences between their projects. Though Rachel has not publicly addressed the situation, rumors suggest that she is privately upset about Brett Cooper's success. Whether or not the rumors are true, it is clear that Disney is doing everything it can to avoid drawing attention to the Daily Wire's adaptation, as any acknowledgement of the competition could fuel more interest in Brett Cooper's version. The difference in how Rachel and Brett are portrayed in the media may also play a role in the tension. While Rachel has been criticized for her remarks and controversial comments about the original film, Brett has been praised for her respectful approach to the story. Rachel has even had to plead with fans to stop sending her hate, expressing how challenging the backlash has been for her. In a tearful moment, she admitted, "It's hard and it's lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things. And I will be okay." As if the backlash over her role wasn't enough, Rachel found herself embroiled in further controversy after she posted a tweet seemingly aimed at her co-star Gal Gadot. The two actresses have reportedly clashed over their differing views on the Israel-Hamas conflict. In the wake of the trailer's release, Rachel thanked her fans for their support, but added, "And always remember, Free Palestine," a comment that many took as a direct shot at Gal Gadot's pro-Israel stance. This ongoing drama has raised questions about how the two will handle their promotional tour together, given the apparent tension between them. Additionally, calls to boycott Disney's Snow White have increased due to Gal Gadot's involvement, with some fans pledging to avoid the film entirely in protest of her political views. In contrast, Brett Cooper's Snow White seems to be thriving. With no major controversies surrounding her version, fans have embraced her respectful take on the beloved fairy tale. As the release dates for both films draw nearer, fans are left wondering whether Disney's modern reimagining can survive the mounting criticisms, or if the Daily Wire's faithful retelling will be the one to win the hearts of audiences. Do you think the Daily Wire's version has a shot at overtaking Disney? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my next video for more updates.